Hello everyone, I'm Shenyuan Hu, the founder of Joint Commonwealth Fund, or JCF, and welcome to JCF Weekly. So in this episode, we're going to talk about something interesting, which is we all know that cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin are quite volatile, but can they really be used for something? Okay, can they really be used? So this is actually a question, many people might have in their minds. Because as some of you may know, that Bitcoin rise from 1 to 1,000 US dollar to 1 to 20,000 in 2017, and then it dropped to about 15,000, and now it's about 3 to 4,000 US dollar per Bitcoin. Okay, so it's moving quite a lot. So for people, naturally, a question is, can it really be used if it's so volatile? And one of the questions, I went to what's called the Web Summit, which is one of the largest, conference for startups around the world, last year, November, in Portugal, Lisbon. And one of the speakers were Ray Dalio. He's the founder of the largest hedge fund in the world, Bridgewater. Okay, Bridgewater, that's the largest hedge fund. So one of the audience question for him at the time during a QA was, what does he think about cryptocurrency? So Ray mentioned that he's quite positive, and he believes that blockchain has a lot of potential. It's a very foundational, transformational technology, and likely cryptocurrency will be of importance, but he believed that it's not really a currency, in the sense that because it's very volatile, so you cannot really use something that volatile as the basis for a currency. Well, Ray is right, but just this past few days, I've had this realization perspective I'd like to share with you, which is, when we talk about volatility, actually, you also have to look at the time frame and also who is it for, okay, who the currency is for. For example, I live in Taiwan, and the exchange rate between a US dollar and the Taiwan's new Taiwan dollar was 1 to 40. Okay, so 1 US dollar, 40 Taiwanese dollar back when I was young. And at one point, the new Taiwan dollar rise to 25 per US dollar. Okay, and now it's about 30 to 1 at that ratio. So this is still a fluctuation that's certainly meaningful, measurable, but it's over a course of almost 40 years. So when something volatile happen over a long time, we don't think it's volatile. We feel that it's acceptable. Okay. So now the interesting question is, so who and what is big cryptocurrencies really for? Okay. Just as a thought experiment, okay, think about what if, the main users of cryptocurrencies in the future may not be humans. Okay, why am I saying that? Because as you may know, artificial intelligence or AI are on the rise. There's a variety of different kinds of AIs, and likely they can, perform certain tasks on our behalf, and some of them might act as our agents, to for example, buy tickets or perform certain tasks that might be of, economic values. AIs could be composing music, could be editing videos, could be producing entertainments, could be, playing chess. and likely, once these AIs are mature, and I'm not saying that they have to be conscious, okay, that's out of the scope for our discussion. I'm just saying that if some AIs, they are producing some useful functions that may produce economic values, which is, quite likely. In fact, if you have AIs that can, answer basic, questions for call centers, for example, that's already, taking up some entry-level jobs at maybe traditional call centers. So Let's say these AIs also need currencies in order to make transactions or make some kind of market economies work. And because computer software can work in such a fast pace, let me just give you an example. You may have known that the best human chess player of the Western chess it was Garry Kasparov, right, at that time, and he was beaten by a computer from IBM called Deep Blue many years ago. Now, some of you may not know this, but what happened was a couple of years back, there is a new computer, okay, that was developed also by IBM that basically beat Deep Blue, okay, in chess. So now the computers are beating computers. The AI are beating other AIs. And what's amazing and impressive is that this computer program, it did not have any prior knowledge. Okay, it built up its own knowledge about how to play chess over a period of 4 hours. And this new program beat Deep Blue. So what this means is that, thousands of years of human experience, wisdom accumulated, created during the past, hundreds, if not thousands of years of chess were simply replaced and beaten by something the AI can do in 4 hours. Okay, so that's a scary thought. But let's say these bots or AIs are producing economic values, and what currency might they be used for transactions? Well, it could be cryptocurrencies, right? So then the cryptocurrencies between, this crypto nation and that crypto, or between different use case, they could have very volatile, conversion rates at any given time. So from a human perspective, that's happening really fast and changing a lot. But maybe from a bots or computer programs perspective, it's just normal. It's how we do our business. So it's an interesting thought. But what I would like to bring with this point is that when we talk about cryptos being volatile, you have to ask who are the currencies for and what is it used for. For example, if it's used for like food and clothes, that might not be acceptable. But if it's used for like entertainment, such as if it's used for some games, then people would say, no, it's not that, even if two game coins, they have drastically changing volatile exchange rates, people would not really be bothered by that, right? Because it doesn't affect their lives. And if such cryptos for example, if they are played by some of the few crypto investors or some rich guys who have extra money to spend to play with, it doesn't affect people's livelihood. Again, people would not mind and would not care. And in fact, that's what's happening now. So I guess another question is, what is it for? Who is it for? Now, so what I would like to really bring is that the question of volatility is really relative. And whether that volatility will affect the currency or crypto's fundamental value, well, that's not necessarily the case. So, this is our thoughts for this week's JCF Weekly. So if you like us, please, you can subscribe us. You can press like to our, our fan page on Facebook. And I'll see you next week. Thank you very much.